our God has amazing power. He is in charge. He is the God of the universe still, and he's still supreme. And I love it that he says, be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. And again, every couple of days I read something about some reason why AI might destroy every life form on earth, or if it's not AI, it'll be something else. But I'm confident that God is in charge. He knows what's going on, and nothing is going to happen by accident. Nothing is going to happen outside of his control. And so if we're worried or we fear, it's a good reminder to stop, be still, and know that he is God. And so we're here because of the greatness and the wonder of Jesus, who has loved us so much that he came and died for us. And so the AI Academy thinks about technology, thinks about creativity, thinks about all these things. But in the end, the only thing that really matters is the fact that God loves us and knows us, and we can follow him still. AI is simply another tool, a tool in the toolbox that we can use to serve him, to be faithful to him, and to make disciples for Jesus. So that's the point of the AI Academy. And tonight we have a number of different bits of training to stretch our thinking. So Festus is going to kick us off with a bit of an overview of AI. And I'm very excited because we want trainers and training to come from different parts of the world, because AI is everywhere. And it's really helpful to hear different perspectives from different places. So thank you so much, Festus, for stepping up to this, and over to you.
Thank you, Simon, once again. AI basically, from our initial discussion when we said it is a simulation of human intelligence, I was looking at the part of simulation and mimicking. Then I realized artificial intelligence is basically a pretense of being human-like, which is not human. So basically, it's basically simulation of human intelligence, and that is processes by machines, especially computer systems designed to think, learn, and act autonomously. However, when I looked at again the definition, again I realized AI it's not. It's more of it cannot work without us as a human. And we know we've got the different types, that is the general AI, the narrow AI, and the super intelligent. And most of us are quite fast with artificial intelligence. But again, we also checked on the different areas where it has been used. And one of the areas where it has been used, it is in education sector, healthcare, business and industry, in agriculture, in social and faith-based work. So when it comes to education, it's in adaptive learning. In healthcare, it's also in automated assessments. In business and industry, in personalized tutoring and delivering of particular decisions. Then there is also automated responses when you've got maybe mass responses you want to make into businesses. In agriculture, we've got automated inquiry systems. Then in social and faith-based work, again, it's more in communication and creativity. Then there are key components of AI, that is, AI basically relies on data. It also relies on human reasoning and interaction. Then it is also involved in it's the aspect of learning and algorithms. Then the other bit I also wanted to check on mostly was AI has both great benefits, and I can attest to that, because when we did our first academy, I think it was around October, November. Those are my most creative months. I involved myself for the last couple of years in a lot of writing. And I realized each and every one of us uses AI in one way or another. We either use it in either grammar, keyboard, in maybe the creativity. We've used AI in one way or another. So basically, when it is responsibly used, there is the aspect of efficiency and productivity. A role and a responsibility that would have taken a longer time to do, you take lesser time. Then the other best thing about AI, it is accessibility. It's accessible everywhere across the globe, so anyone can utilize it constructively to build and strengthen ministry. Then AI, it's a bit helps a lot in innovation catalyst. That is, yes, you've got the idea, there is what you want to see, but you don't know how. AI again will help you to develop, to become more innovative if you utilize it well. Then there's the aspect of also everyone can access it, and the services are available to everyone. They can help one also make strong decisions to support whatever they are doing. Then one of the best thing AI also contributes a lot to is enhanced communication. And when I was thinking about this benefit and creativity, I was thinking about I wish we can do this small activity. If I say you just think about an animal which has legs, and you just picture it and draw it. If you do that activity, I've just mentioned an animal that has legs, just draw it. You picked a pen and draw just that. Basically, you realize that those instructions are incomplete because you don't know which animal you're drawing. The same case applies to utilization of artificial intelligence applications here and there. If your instruction, if your prompts are not complete, are not clear, then you are likely to get a half-baked result for what you want. And you may end up having thinking AI is not useful, it's not important, but it is us who are giving us the instruction, who are not giving clear instruction. One thing I can say it is us human who are creative. It is not the AI bit of it. It is us to come up with the creative thoughts, then we feed them to giving specific instruction to the AI so as to give clarity on whatever we want. Now, what about the impact if it is overdone? One, human dependency, a lot. Most people, again, we forgot about our natural way of doing things, because whenever you ask something, you think about AI. You don't think about doing it the same way you are supposed to do it. If you are supposed to prepare particular, just a short lesson for children ministry program, children ministry, maybe on particular theme, the first thing I launch in one's mind is, let me run to AI. I'll get all that information. And recently, as a student in the field of biblical studies, I was talking to a friend and he's a pastor, and I asked, have you completed your assignment? And they told me, AI is going to do it for me. And I told her, no, you are missing the authenticity of that personal contact with the world because you are over-relying on AI. So sometimes our over-reliance on AI sometimes causes us to have human deficiency when it comes to exploration, in such a way that even our creative nature, ability to think and come up with something concrete, we lose that bit. Then emotional and social isolation. Sometimes if you overdone, you can become more of a so much isolated, because every now it's more like an addictive program. So if it's in maybe prompt, it's on maybe generative AI, you realize when you overdo it, again, there is that emotional detachment from the actual world, from the real world, because you're always on it. You don't want to interact with other people to know and to understand what are the challenges in that particular community. How can you address them? Because you want only to rely on the information that's already fed to the AI systems. Then there is ethical and moral drift. Basically, AI systems, if not guided, it may lead to biasness in the results you need. So it has to be thoroughly guided. I remember sometimes when we were beginning the academy, we were told we make sure we're using AI for the right purpose, not using it for the things which are not appropriate. It's very likely for one to find themselves doing something that is different from what it was intended for. For example, you are just doing something, and it's the way you get offended by something, and you find yourself instead of doing what you are supposed to do, you concentrate on what is happening within you at that particular moment. Then there is also the aspect of privacy and surveillance threats. Most of the times we share a lot of content within the AI systems, and we may not have control of privacy of our own content. You might have thought you've developed for many years, but as a result of just sharing that because you want to perhaps to proofread, because you want to restructure, then you lose its privacy and its corporate as a result of sharing it within the system. Then what can we do so as to ensure that we do not overuse it and we do not allow it to take control over us? Because if we don't become its masters, it is going to master us. And if AI becomes our master, then it means everything we are going to be doing, it's more artificial than actual. One of the things we are supposed to do is we are supposed to make sure we are using it to serve humanity, and AI is not meant to replace humanity, because AI relies on human beings, for it to generate whatever it's supposed to do. Ethical integration, then we've got to have embedded moral, spiritual, and social values in our AI designs, ensuring that even as we engage in AI development and activities, we do not lose our morals. We still stand with our morals, we still spiritually guided, and we still make sure that we hold on those values as we continue serving in this particular in ministry. Education and awareness, we should continually teach about responsible use of AI, so that we make sure it's not misused in creativity. Especially within our society, sometimes there is excessive use of misuse of AI. Sometimes you look at it and you're like, this is misused. And sometimes there is need of information, education, and control, because if someone misuses it, may offend somebody else. Then the other bit is on our spiritual reflection. We should anchor our AI utilization as Christians in compassion, justice, and wisdom, ensuring that it's biblically founded. It's not outside our biblical foundation. And I think if we rely on that, or we go that way when we utilize AI, it will be of great help to us and ministry. Thank you.